A couple of weeks ago, Cardo has announced its newest addition to its PACKTALK lineup, the PACKTALK EDGE. And here it finally is. So let's just have a quick look on what it says on the box. So we've got second generation dynamic mesh communication, we've got air mount, we've got natural voice operation, we've got waterproof, universal Bluetooth intercom, over-the-air software update. So much for that. Let's just really quickly go over what is in the box when you open it. So obviously we have the unit itself, we have the mount for the helmet of the unit itself, we have some brochures in different languages and instruction manuals in different languages. We then have some additional stuff for the unit itself, so boom mic, regular mic, 40mm headset, Velcro and some alcohol wipes. So let's just have a look at the unit itself. So here we have the PACKTALK EDGE itself in single, and let's have a look at it, how it looks on the helmet. I must admit, I do like the new design a lot more, especially since we don't have the fold-out antenna anymore, as with the old PACKTALK Special Edition Black, for example, or the Bold or anything before that, until we get to the Smart Pack. Design-wise, we still have the basic lines of Cardo on the unit itself. What has changed though is the size of the buttons, or the feel of the buttons, and as well of the jog dial. So the jog dial now is a lot easier to use, and it has a lot less resistance when turning. To be fairly honest, it doesn't make that much of a difference for me, but some people kept complaining that there is too much resistance in the old jog dials. I hope that we get in the future new colors or different colors, because to be fairly honest, I mean, it's okay, but either we get it in completely black or in different colors as well, because I would love to see that. Especially like we had with the Ducati version, with that red. I mean, that was awesome. Would be nice to get something like that back again. Let's talk over-the-air updates. I'm really glad that we finally can update our device with our phone, rather than taking our device and plugging it into the computer and updating it there. Because it is a lot more convenient for me to just update the device with my phone rather than just plugging it into the computer all of the time. You will already feel the difference, or you will already see the difference, as soon as you take your device out of the box and connect it to your phone. Because the first thing it will prompt you is the language. It will ask you what language you want to select, and depending if you want to select a different language than English United States, then you will actually have to download a new language set. Which implies that they have improved the the voice operation quite a bit. Because previously with the versions you were just able to, just change the language manually in the system without needing to download any further information. So I changed the language to English United Kingdom, and it took me around 50 minutes to download and to install the update. The other update, or the software update, I've done that one as well, took me around 20 minutes, so probably depending on your internet connection, that may vary. So while we're looking at the app already, let's have a closer look at the audio profiles. So Cardo has announced that they have reworked all 3 audio profiles and have improved the audio processor. From my point of view, I cannot verify that, as I don't really see or hear a difference in the 3 new audio profiles. It might as well be, since I'm not that audiophile and I'm not that into listening to the music at high volumes, or that it needs to be clear. Because let's be realistic, as soon as we start to ride, we've got wind noise and all the other stuff which comes on the road. So from my point of view, yes, they've reworked it, but I can't really hear that much of a difference. So that isn't a game changer for me. As well, with the 40mm speakers, the new ones, I assume they are the same ones that you get with the PACKTALK Black Edition, but I'm not 100% sure. The thing is, I still stick with the 45mm speaker sound by JBL, because they still sound a lot better than the 40mm speakers that come in the box. So my recommendation is, if you want clearer and more sound from your device, stick with a 45mm speaker sound by JBL. I hope they will in the future make a newer edition and improve those as well, but we would have to wait until that happens. Alright, now let's talk air mount. So the air mount was one of the key features that Cardo has announced. And I must admit, it really works. I caught myself getting the unit out of the box, taking the mount out of the box and just, popping it in and getting it back out, popping it in, because I was really curious to see if it really is that strong to keep the unit inside. And it really is. As you can see here, I've put the unit right on my helmet and tried to wiggle it around. I think before the device falls out of the mount would probably break off the helmet. Getting the device off the helmet is easy as well, as you just have to press one lever down and then push it to the front, as you can see. I would recommend doing it without gloves, because it's just, with blank fingers, it's a lot easier to get it off. Let's talk Dynamic Mesh 2.0 and what was promised and what we actually get. So they have improved the sound quality through broadband transmission. That I can actually vouch for. I've tried that and it does actually sound a lot better.
So let's test some of the audio quality that comes right out of the Cardo itself. Right now I'm recording myself with the Packtalk Black, transmitting directly into the Edge via the headset.
They have improved the pairing. Yes, that is true. Pairing is now super fast. And what I really love about the pairing now is we actually get voice, we actually get feedback from the device itself.
Searching for group.
So now when we start the pairing, we just have we start the pairing and the device actually tells us it is in pairing mode.
Grouping initiated.
And as soon as it has found someone, it actually tells us pairing completed, one biker added.
Grouping succeeded, one group member connected.
Depending on how many bikers you're adding, it will sum up. But I've tried it with two different devices, so pairing two new different devices to my Packtalk Edge, and it was fantastic because it was saying,
searching for group.
I got the announcement, pairing completed, 2 bikers added. So that way I knew, okay, finally, I know how many people are now in the group or were added. So no more hustling anymore, looking, okay, is it connected, talking to each other, making a sound check to see if everyone actually is in the group or not. Let's talk about the range. So they say they can reach up to 8 kilometers in ideal conditions. I mean, yeah, that might be possible if you space 15 riders over 8 kilometers. That would probably work perfectly fine. So I've done a small test to see how far the connection actually will go between the receiver and the sender. So for that test, I've actually put out the camera, plugged my special edition Packtalk Black right into the camera and drove off to see how far it will take until we lose the connection.
Right, so now we're going to make a test to see how far it actually takes that we lose the transmission between the two devices. Ideal conditions, we have no obstacles in between, we have no other cars riding besides, and no other motorbikes and no other interferences. So from previously experiences, I can tell you now that the transmission will lose. So with the old Cardo devices, we lost it a lot earlier, but with this one, with the Edge, it works fabulous even on long distance.
So now we should lose the transmission completely. And I think we've done that already, and now I'm just going to go and return. So now we're back. I assume that we should now reach the transmission
zone again, and we actually get the signal back. As far as I can tell already, it's quite awesome, because when I lost the entire transmission, so when I lost the connection to the group, to the other devices, my Cardo actually did tell me that the connection is lost. What I'm still missing though is the fact, or is the announcement, that we have came back into the transmission. That would have been so awesome to just get a notification, okay, you're back in the transmission zone, but I can live with that. That's completely fine with me. So, and with that, let's go back to the video.
So as you saw and heard, the connection starts losing at around 400 meters for the first time, as there is a tree in between. So as soon as you lose the line of sight, it starts to break up, and that quite badly. But as soon as you get back into the line of sight, it took around 800 meters until we started to break up again. So from my point of view, is there such a big difference to the previous ones? No, not really. We would have to see in real life conditions when we are out on the rides, even more frequent, if that actually is better now or not. But until now, I can tell you it's about the same range as the previous ones. It will probably also depend on how many PACKTALK edges you have in the group, or if you're communicating with another PACKTALK edge or an older device. As I only have one device of the edge, I can only test the communication with PACKTALK Special Edition Black or the Bold. They have improved the Bluetooth, or updated it up to 5.2, and now we're supposed to be able to add 4 other riders within Bluetooth. I mean, that would be awesome, because the thing that we always have is when we ride out with other users that are using Senas, I mean, getting them into the group is always a big deal. And until now, we weren't able to even get the other Sena devices completely into the mesh or even into the group integrated, as it is just, I don't know, it just never worked. Even though we were at the exhibition, and even the guys from Sena tried to show us how it works, and even they didn't get it to work properly. The connection between the phone and the actual unit itself has increased quite a lot. It has gotten a lot better since it doesn't break up that often anymore. Sometimes I had some interferences, and that is completely gone. I haven't experienced any interferences until now, and I've been riding for quite a while now with the PACKTALK Edge, I think for now 2 weeks or so. So I can really say that the transmission is now more stable, and I haven't had any of the experiences like I had with the PACKTALK Edge, PACKTALK Bold, or with the Smart Pack, losing connection between phone and the actual unit. Let's talk audio design. So they have reworked the entire audio design of the unit itself, meaning when you switch it on, you finally get a nice sound saying, okay, I'm switched on. The voice commands are clear and crisp, and even communicating with your device is easy as cake. In the past, I was always afraid to use it because it didn't work properly. It switched on the radio rather than the next track, so it didn't work that well for me. But now I can really say I've been enjoying it, and I've actually been using it the entire time, rather than pressing a button. Okay, I'm still volume up and down, that's still something that I'm using by hand, but anything else works perfectly fine. Also, the communication directly to my phone, so to my personal assistant, to Siri, works perfectly as well. Because that integration sometimes also didn't work out that way. But now I can really say it works out. I can even start the music, stop the music, and search for music with the device. So that is awesome. I don't have to stop anymore, get my phone out and just select the music there. I can just now do that all over the device. It works in German and English. I haven't tried United States because I'm trying English United Kingdom, so that should be fine. Anyway, when changing the language, remember that it will always take around 15 minutes to just download the new language pack and install it. Regarding battery life, I haven't been able to drain it completely. I left it on standby and even used it during the day when I was driving to work and back. It took me quite a while to get it completely to empty, and I really like the announcements and even the press of a button just to ask how much battery life is left. It tells you quite early that you need to charge the unit again, and from my experience, just charging it up for 20 minutes actually does work for 2 hours. So if you've liked the video, leave a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and if you have any further questions, leave a comment down below or contact me directly. In that case, thank you and take care.